Hi, I'm Pablo Perez del Aguila, ID number 2009-25-2091, and in this video I'm going to explain facts about the National Palace in Guatemala City. The National Palace in the past was the government headquarters, but now since 1997 is a museum, a very important museum in the historic center in Guatemala City. In this building there is an important room. This room is named the Mirrors Room, and in this place is the starting point of millions of all the roads in our country. The style of this building is a mix of neoclassical style and Barroco. It's an icon of the central historic in Guatemala City.
Hi everyone, my name is Rojas Medina. My number ID is 2010-18-026. I'm talking about the National Palace. The National Palace of Culture is located in the historic center of Guatemala City. It's a space dedicated for various artists and temporary exhibitions. Has well a house collection of painting and sculpture, like a museum or sometimes a style. Has a former Guatemala governing headquarters was declared historic and artistic in November 7 of the 1918 and June 11 of the 201. Forward become the Ministry of the Culture and Sports of Guatemala.
My name is Jose Gallardo with ID 201020489. I will talk about the banquet hall, which was decorated with a curvilinear cornice, which is similar to the Church of the Carmen of Antigua, Guatemala. And in the reception room, Baroque decoration was applied in plastering, especially in the dome, where all incorporate elements of his own time, like the elevators, the liquid cement floors, and the indirect fighting. In the details were applied nationalistic reasons, like quetzals in some lamps, especially in the reception room, with weighs 2 tons and a half, and which Galeotti placed for 4 quetzals bronze that looking to the cardinal points. In that same room were placed 2 boxes, one for north and the one south orchestra for marimba. The motivation was to exalt the traditions of the country, as one of its builders, Rafaél Perez de León, in 1943. In Guatemala, in Antigua Guatemala, is our inspiration for monumental works. So the palace tried to be a synthesis of the Guatemalan art.
Construction of the palace was ordered by President Dictator really Jorge and started in 1959. It took 4 years to build at a relatively low cost, since prisoners were forced to work in the projects for a measly 0.25 a day, back when Guatemala's currently had the same value as $1. Incidentally, in the palace current ground hand being a big Chinese pagoda, donated by the Chinese community living in Guatemala in the early 90s. Unfortunately, it was destroyed in an earthquake, after which Ubico hated the plan to build the palace. This is a side note. For whatever reason, Ubico did not like the prominence of the Chinese community and enacted a law that prohibited admission to the country of yellow people and black people. This law was amended in 1944 to limit the country to a total Chinese population of no more than 25, after which point a Chinese person could only enter when one of the 758 died. This law is still on the books, although it was deemed unconstitutional in the early 90s. Today, China and Guatemala have good relations. The building was built out of brick and concrete. It gets the green color, the dictator's wife favorite color, because of the mix of concrete and oxidized copper used to cause the building. This was to avoid having to constantly repaint the building. Not surprisingly, the building's affectionate nickname is El Guacamalón or the Big Guacamole.
Hi, my name is Christian. My ID is 2010 443. The Palace National. The building constructed of concrete with stone bricks become concrete with a green. Contains more by artist Alberto Gallardo, showing a brief history of the country from the colonial period to independence. The structure is designed for central body from which extend to lateral bodies, each at these 3 levels and a patch of central. In total cover is the area and complete salons. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Lesther Wilfredo Coloch González, ID number 2010-2016-188. I'll talk about the history of the National Palace of Guatemala City. The Grand Palace, the Mayor Plaza, most of night building, it was built by prison labor or under the order of the President General Jorge Ubico Castañeda. In 1932, published the basis for the design and construction of the palace, and on July the 4th, 1934, the first stone was placed. The National Palace was built between January 1939 and 1943. On November the 10th of that year, on the present day, the palace was opened. The building resisted the earthquake of February of 4 of 1976 of 70.5 Richter scale.
My name is Fernando Joachín exhibition gallery of the Palace de National Guatemala. The glass booms, the original, the homes, the administrative, the office of the government, they are not part of the exhibition. Space, they are the kind, the tournament, the contemporary, they are office, the great, the cognitive, the by doors. The by doors, the adoption, they did not have to leave the runner, the which meet that the win opening, they are the doors, the gallery look terrific chairs. The floor is the examen line. The process, the domestic factory, which stimulate the production. At the time, his policy allows display the year retains the luster and elegance denoting the visitor is privileged. The rooms are like the various, the light lamps, which the highlight the stylish signing.
I am Alberto Morales and this is a video for IT2 and we are talking about the history of the National Palace of Guatemala City. In celebration of the first century of independence in 1919, President Manuel Estrada Cabrera was placed the first stone for a future palace next to the Plaza de la Constitución. The Italian architect Guido Albani was charged with designing the palace, but it never came to pass due to the collapse of the government soon thereafter. 2 years later, in 1921, President Carlos Herrera, with the centenary very close, ordered the Palacio del Centenario to be built in only 3 months' time with a small budget and a few resources. It became popular, but known as the Palacio de Cartón. However, in 1925, it was destroyed by a fire. Then, in 1927, President Lázaro Chacón declared a contest for the design of the new palace. The contest was won by the artist Agustín Iriarte, but this project again never came to be. Finally, in 1932, the President General Jorge Ubico published the basis of the design and construction of the palace, and on July 4, in 1937, the first stone was placed. The National Palace was built between January in 1939 and 1943. On November 10 of that year, the present-day palace was opened. The building resisted the earthquake of February 4 of 1976 of 7.5 Richter scale.